buckle in, dude. It's gonna suck.
Put your hand on the screen.
How did they find out? Who was the one?
This show has gotten infinitely more gay.
The mystical land of New Jersey.
I don't understand how the laws of this country work anymore.
Now, forever.
Together. Welcome to the Rebel Radio Show. Live uncut and uncensored on WSRR Radio. You guys want to talk about classical music by chance?
Fuck no, baby.
Yeah, April Fools, motherfuckers.
Classical music, more like wipical ass with that music. That's
Wipical ass. With
Man,
that
this is a hell of a start to this show.
yeah.
It's live, baby. Am I right, Shani?
Hey everyone.
On the board is Jules.
Hello.
I'm Radio's Rebel DJ Style. 216-859-8699 is that number to text in if you're listening live with us today on this Monday evening right here on WSRR Radio or on the Live 365 app. Take us with you wherever you go. Make the switch.
Make the switch.
There it is.
Yeah.
And also make the switch over to Synergy Music Studio later on today. If you're looking to get your album or track mixed, mastered, produced, or even reamped, maybe need some session work done as well, Synergy Music Studio will help you out along the way there. They are a professional recording studio that work with local and independent artists to get your track or album sounding exactly like you want it to. SynergyMusicStudio.com. Again, proud supporters of WSRR Radio and the local independent music scene. We got to jump right into this.
Let's jump it. Let's dive in head first.
Head first, because this is an important one.
Yeah.
You know, we talk a lot about some pee-pee poo-poo stories here, but this
Not
is
today.
the pee-pee story.
This is the piss of all piss stories.
Dude, the piss of piss. This is it.
I'm the king of kings. Then, now, forever.
Piss together.
Yeah.
So there's this feller. I don't even know where this is.
Portland, Oregon.
Obviously Portland, Oregon. That's exactly what I said. There's
Yeah.
this guy in Portland, Oregon who...
Alex Van Duyn.
What was that last name?
Alex Van Duyn. D-U-Y. Listen, it's a weird
Alex.
one. D-U-Y-N. Duyn. I'm doing with this. I'm doing with your shit. Oi, matey. Put me into a latte.
Didn't you miss this last week? So there's this guy, Alex, in Portland, Oregon, as I was saying, who, you know, just wants to take his trash out. That's all he wants to do.
He's just living his life.
Just wants to put the trash on the curb and have the trash man pick it up.
As
Yeah.
you do.
That's all he wants. But he can't do that because he keeps finding jugs of piss in the recycling bin.
That's not what you want to find by your recycling bin.
And it keeps
That's not
happening.
recyclable.
So I think
Not
it is.
your piss.
Well, I think it's recyclable is my bigger issue, but
I think that
you
you're
can
wrong
drink
about
pi-
that.
You can drink piss is sterile.
Not
You
that
can.
piss.
What do you mean
Yeah.
not that piss?
But
Piss in
listen,
bottles that you find in a garbage can, they would need to be tested,
I'm not
right?
saying I want to drink it. I'm just saying you could.
recycling plants are not going to be turning that piss into water. They're not going to be like, yeah, good.
Well, shame on them.
We have piss. We can turn it into water.
What fucking hypocrites?
It's
Shame
not like
on them.
It's not like an everything recycling plant. It's a trash recycling plant.
They're not like, hey, bring your bottles of piss to the recycling plant.
Listen, let me
We'll
tell you
give
guys something.
Water.
They put like glass plastic paper on their cans for a reason.
Let me tell you something. I hate the recycling plant. All of them. I hate them
Whoa.
because they're hypocritical. You know why?
Why?
Because you throw one thing. You have an entire bag full of shredded paper. And
Okay.
you throw like an apple core in there,
Yeah.
and instantly they won't take anything out of that bag.
Yeah.
And they throw it right in the trash.
Yeah. Why
But-
would you put an apple?
But
core in
listen, hear me out. Because if I have an entire 55-gallon trash or a recycling bin full of paper,
there? Mm-hmm.
and it goes into the recycling truck,
Mm-hmm.
and there happens to be somebody else who threw away an apple core, no longer can that recycling be recycled. Pick it out. Recycle the recycling if you're going to do it.
I see.
What hypocrites.
And they also say that, like,
Never me.
Empty the piss and recycle the plastic bottles. Grow up, fellers.
they
Well, and
say
that's what
that
I
like
was-
pizza boxes are recyclable, but they're not if they've had a pizza in them.
If there's cheese
like,
on the box,
grease
yeah.
and
Oh,
the
what
cheese.
the fuck?
Yeah.
No, I still put my pizza box in the recycling.
Recycling's a scam.
Don't tell Recycle Clause.
There's rules.
Or I'll be on the naughty list this year.
You'll be on the reduce list this year.
Yeah, they will reduce me. Oh God.
So this guy, not his piss, we should clarify that. This guy keeps taking out his recycling bin, and every week his recycling is not taken by the trash company to the point
Yeah.
where he's going, why is my can not being taken? I'm going to call, the trash service and figure out why my recycling isn't being taken.
Right.
To which they have to inform him, well, buddy, you keep putting gallons of piss in your recycling
It's
bin.
all the piss that's by your trash,
You
man.
can't take that.
And he goes, what?
Yeah.
Me? No.
So apparently, and the police have been called. Apparently, somebody, no one knows who, keeps getting away with it. Every week, this guy takes his trash out. Somebody throws bottles full, but I'm not talking water bottles. I'm talking milk jugs.
Yeah, they're like
Full of
half-gallon
piss.
milk jugs.
Yeah.
It looked like from the pictures, or like full milk jugs.
Yeah,
full of
like
piss.
1 liters of
Disgusting.
piss that this guy's throwing in just this guy's trash can.
I was just going to ask, is it like some of the neighbors too?
Oh no, just
Just
Alex,
this guy.
just old Alex, just piss boy Alex here.
Poor Alex. Is he being targeted? Like, is this a thing?
I think it is.
Maybe it's because he has such a funky last name.
Probably pissed someone off.
Doin. They're like, fuck that Doin guy. Let's go
It was
piss
actually the mailman. He
Let's-
didn't.
piss in some bottles and put it by his recycling. That'll show him.
So
Have a last name that's weird. That'll teach him.
fuck you for being different from me.
Yeah. Let's piss in some bottles and put it by his recycling. Fuck that guy.
I mean, it is really funny. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, it's a great meme,
It's
but it's also
really funny. Like, I'd do
listen.
this to you.
Listen, if it was my recycling, I'd be pissed.
Oh, you sure would.
I would, yeah, I'd be pissed, but not in bottles. I'd be pissed in my toilet, and I'd be very upset that there was also pee by my trash cans.
It's a good meme if like I live down the street from my buddy
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh, watch this, and I piss in a couple. But first of all, that's a lot of piss. This dude's storing piss. Like, this is
Yeah.
like anytime he has to go, has a bottle on hand that he's resealing and reopening to fill it up.
So
Yeah.
when
This
you
is more than one piss.
when you first brought this in, I was like, "Oh, this is like a hoarder situation. Someone's like living in despair
country, yeah.
and just pissing in bottles because their toilet doesn't work or something like that. Like this is a fucked up
It's a
situation."
comically large amount of piss.
But then I realized that this wasn't someone recycling their own piss. This was someone putting piss in someone else's recycling, and I was like, "Man,
Now
can't keep
it's-
getting away with this. Is nefarious. This is
They have video footage. Like, this guy has a camera,
yeah, supposedly."
and they haven't caught the guy. How evasive is this piss man?
Dude, he's quick. You can't catch him. Or
Oh,
she.
I like to-
We don't know.
That would involve a funnel. I'd
We
like
don't
to
know.
imagine they're doing it on the scene.
You think they're
Like they
pissing
show
in
up
the
with
jugs?
with a gallon. They piss in front of their yard, and they're having a good laugh while they're doing it and tossing it in.
Maybe.
Like they're warm still when they hit the can.
Ew.
See, okay, in the security footage, it looks like someone's pulling up on the road. They don't even pull into the driveway. They just pull up on the side of the road.
Toss a couple jugs in.
Yeah, just toss a
From
couple.
the trunk.
Yeah, toss a couple
Do you
jugs from the
think
trunk.
He's ever like not made
They're
the
in like
sealed
apple
very
juice
nicely?
bottles and like orange juice bottles and stuff.
It looks like apple juice, which is very gross.
Yeah, I would feel threatened. I'm not gonna lie. If I
imagine-
woke up and there was like 3 giant liters of piss by my recycling, I'd be like, all right,
This is a sign, but I don't know
yeah,
of what.
this is a bad omen.
Yeah, that's
I
what
need
I was gonna say. It's an omen.
this is something bad is happening.
I've
here.
pulled the omen card in
Yeah.
House on the Hill right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I've pulled the piss jug from the recycling bin.
I need to contact a witch doctor.
This is like
Something's
the
happening.
worst version of Clue.
Yeah.
The piss jug in the recycling bin from Alex.
Yeah, we're fucked.
My bigger concern for Alex is that he had to take these piss jugs out of his trash and take pictures of them for the police.
Yeah, that's kind of gross.
That's
Wear
what I do.
gloves.
That's what I won't want to do is just touch the piss. I don't think he is in the wrong. I don't think, as long as he's not like the elaborate mastermind behind this, where he really just wants to piss in jugs and get away with it,
Right.
and he's staging the car and everything,
Mm-hmm.
which he could. I'm not putting it past Alex.
You never know.
Weird last name.
I mean,
But unless that's the case, he's not in the wrong here. However, the recycling plant just needs to take the fucking piss.
I disagree.
Just take it. As somebody who actively hates the trash company,
okay.
whatever I put in my garbage can is garbage. And I want you to take it to the garbage plant because it's garbage. As long as I'm not putting like flammable material, like I saw someone put an oxygen tank in a garbage can and it blew up. obviously don't do that.
Piss is flammable, isn't it?
No! When have you ever?
You could light piss
No!
on fire.
You piss on a fire to put it out.
I don't know. I've never peed anywhere near fire
Damn, I
before.
can't get this fire started. Hang on.
I've
I
never,
just had a lemonade.
I've never had to pee anywhere near a fire before.
Man,
I
you are
don't
not
know.
living.
I know. I guess
You
not.
gotta start pissing on people's campfires
I guess so.
and in the recycling
It's
bins.
gonna be It's gonna be a wet summer.
It's piss boy summer, dude.
Yeah.
That's what we're on the track for.
Yeah.
Piss man summer.
That's what I'm saying.
But no, if I put anything in the garbage, I expect you to take my garbage.
Well, it's one of those things too where I've always heard that the recycling and the trash just go to the same place.
A lot of places they do.
So what? Does
Where
it
you live,
matter?
they do.
So
I
what?
found that out firsthand.
Yeah. So what does it matter? What
It
does
doesn't.
matter?
It doesn't.
Right.
It's all a scam.
Why am I piss? No piss. Trash, recycling. Who cares?
Listen, if I can put a laptop in a landfill for 30 years,
Yeah.
why can't I put piss?
Just dump out the piss.
Just empty the piss. You can still recycle the bottle.
The
Just
police
wash out
should
the
take
bottle.
piss.
It's evidence.
Yeah.
Put it in lockup.
I'll say, working at the thrift store, I would open up like the donations and I would get piss. I'd get piss
Human
bottles.
piss?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you
would-
get piss bottles?
Yeah, I would assume human piss bottles. Yeah. It was
That's
bad.
a very talented cat. if it's not human piss bottles.
It's my cat.
Yeah,
Teach it how to piss into bottles.
Well, they sell
never
like
change a litter box
Yeah.
again.
for hunting. They sell like what coyote urine and,
And
like,
deer piss and shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And you're supposed to like cover your body in it.
I won't be doing that.
No. Yeah,
No.
I'm good on
I'll
that.
pee on myself, thanks. I make my own.
I just
I'm not
pissed
paying
myself.
I'm not paying anyone else for piss. I make my own
Isn't it like
in house.
if you pee on someone got jellyfish sting, but then like fish or not fish,
If you pee on fish,
I
snake bites.
heard that is like, or the jellyfish thing. I heard it's a myth because it's just the warmth
I
that
thought it was
is
snake
like
bites too.
taking it out. Well, snake bites you're supposed to suck on, right?
yeah, you suck the snake bite.
Oh no!
Fuck, I got bit by a snake. Hang on.
I would be fucked in
piss
the
on
jungle.
you.
I'd get bit by a snake. Someone come piss on my hand right now. I'd be fucked. I'd be so
Just imagine
dead.
being with you in the woods. You get bit by a snake. Piss on me, piss on me, piss on me.
Quick, someone needs to piss on me.
Why?
I got bit, obviously.
Going to the fucking ER. Like, when we see a snake bite, why do you smell like piss?
Doctor, piss on me.
This is infected bad, Shane. What happened after you got bit?
Don't worry about
My
it.
snake bite has a UTI.
I got my suck on and my piss on mixed up.
I also severely need mouth surgery from sucking on the jellyfish, guys.
Oh,
You gave that
God.
thing a smooch.
Yeah, I'd be fucked if I ever went to the woods.
New Jersey woods, especially.
So much, I'd be swimming through the spaghetti.
You'd be swimming through the spaghetti and end up getting pissed on by a jellyfish.
The woods.
The woods.
Yeah.
I think the recycling plant needs to grow up.
No, they're not taking. Listen, I'm on the side of recycling plants don't need to take the piss.
But
They need to start taking my piss.
I think the guy, Alex, he's like at a loss. What does he do with the piss?
I think
No, he's at a net gain. He has gained piss.
No.
my boy Alex needs to get a gun when he needs to do. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure we live in the United States, guys.
Stay awake and
Just
like
get a
wait.
fucking gun. Stay up a couple extra hours.
Wait up
This
for
won't
the
be a
piss
problem
man?
anymore.
Or just, take your trash out in the morning instead of the night before.
Yeah. There's so many ways that you can go around this problem.
Or stop recycling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop recycling.
Maybe he
It's
needs
a
to
sign.
switch his recycling and trash where he puts them just to throw off the person who's
What if he puts a sign on the recycling bin that says not recycling?
no piss, please. I'm the trash can.
All right, here's my solution. If I'm Alex, I'm going to Home Depot and I'm buying my own 55-gallon trash can,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to paint on it, this is the piss deposit. So they
Oh.
know where to put it.
Uh-huh.
So there's no more confusion on where the piss goes. You have trash, recycling, and piss.
See, I would do that, but then I would hide in it and I would wait
To
until
get pissed on.
wait until he opens it and I'd be like, stop pissing in my, or stop putting your piss in my trash.
You're running a real risk. hiding in the piss can.
I'd pop out and say, "This is a citizen's arrest."
216-859-8699. Where do you put your piss?
Wild Man Show. Well, as if it was like a show that was on it. Well, that's not a thing.
Every Monday on WSRR Radio.
Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show, live, uncut, and uncensored on WSRR. We're brought to you by GenericClothes.com. Nobody cares about the details. Get to the point with GenericClothes.com. They sponsored our March Madness tournament for college basketball, which should be coming to a close here within the hour. So we'll have to, I mean, we're not going to be on air when the update happens, but WSR Radio on Instagram.
I'm working on my screams.
Yeah? I'm working on my poop.
Yeah.
How's that going?
I'm working one up right now. I'll let you know in an hour.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
We're building. It's a building season.
It's a building phase. We're on our training arc right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Someone else working on their poop.
Uh-oh.
The chucker.
Keep him at a far distance.
You might have heard of the pusher before. No. This is the chucker.
Push it.
Yeah, that one.
Poop it real good.
Yeah, that's right, folks. You're getting a doubleheader today. Piss and poop.
You can't beat it.
It's like popcorn and
poop.
cocaine.
What?
What you said. What? Yeah. What he said. So there's a mysterious poop chucker in Colorado, ladies and gentlemen, and they might be coming after you if you don't pick up your
Only if you
dog's
don't pick up your
Yeah.
dog's poop.
Yeah.
Has this been one person that's been targeted by the poop chucker?
Probably. I
I'm
think it was
assuming.
that one
That's
lady.
what I read. Is one lady has been targeted by this poop chucker.
So
Yeah.
basically, this lady didn't pick up her dog's shit at the park. And this, I'm assuming one guy?
I would assume. I don't think it's like an army of chuckers.
Okay.
Oh, was it?
It's not like an anonymous situation.
Was it in the park? I thought it was in like people's yards and shit like that. The dog was pooing.
Oh,
But I could be
was it?
wrong. I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong.
Honestly, no idea. This lady was letting her dog shit somewhere. Wasn't picking it up.
Right. Which is bad.
And then whoever...
Hang on. Several of the woman's neighbors have noted the woman is failing to pick up her dog's waste. So I'm assuming
Aha.
around the neighborhood.
Right.
pooping in people's yards.
Not good.
Mm-mm.
So because this lady is not picking up after her dog, some vigilante is taking the poop
Good
and
Samaritan.
throwing it in this lady's yard.
Yeah.
Bagging it up, chucking it.
Better man than I, because that's some dirty work.
It's for the greater good. You
Is
know?
it?
I like
I
it.
think it is.
Yeah.
I think it's a noble duty.
He's cleaning up the
Literally.
neighborhood and returning it to where it belongs.
Yeah. Yeah. He's
You
saying,
forgot this.
Yeah.
He's saying fuck you in particular.
And he's at least bagging it up.
Right.
I don't disagree with the statement, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you're gonna go touch someone else's dog shit and you're also gonna bag it, just throw it away at that point.
Well, they make
No,
like little
no.
devices that are like the excavator scoopers, you know?
Oh,
Get
yeah.
like a backhoe in there.
Yeah, you like pinch it and then it scoops up the poop.
I mean, that's what I use.
I've seen those.
You pinch the lever and then it's on like a rod and it has like a
It's like a rod and pulley system
kind
for
of.
poop.
Yeah.
Man, when do we get something like that? I'm getting real sick of pooping it in my hand and putting it in the bowl.
I know. You know what? I know we've talked about it before. That's the craziest shit ever to admit on live air, that you poop in your hands and you let it go into the toilet. How do you go at least 30 plus years and not know? For those who don't know what I'm talking about, there's a clip of this guy online who's on like live air on a talk show, and he admits that he poops in his hands and then he lets it go into the toilet.
He
And-
drops it softly.
And everyone in the room is completely stunned. It's a real thing. Look it up. Can't believe that shit still
Which-
to this day.
Okay, hear me out.
No.
No, I'm not defending that.
Okay.
Nah, that guy's weird. Because like then you have to wash your hands after.
Well, you have to wash
But,
your
like-
hands after you poop anyway.
Yeah. Styles like, what?
How
Fuck that
how
shit.
dirty are you getting?
I'm licking my fingers as I walk out of the bathroom,
That's
dude.
only if you're doing a bad job, man. Like either you got a lot of poop, or you're doing a bad job wiping that you're getting it all over your hands.
No.
Style comes out of the bathroom wrapped like a mummy in toilet paper.
Ew.
Yep.
No, dude, I only wash my hands if I get poop on them.
Yeah.
Like it.
I only
No.
wash my face if I get poop on it. So. All right, we got to stop talking about piss and poop because
No, we have to talk more about poop.
we
Actually,
revert back to like our 4-year-old selves. All right.
I just think about the time that you told the story about going to a public bathroom and getting your feet on the walls for grip.
Yeah, dude. Sometimes you have to.
Taking
Okay,
off all your clothes.
Let me ask
Yeah.
my damn question real quick.
Okay.
This is a short segment.
Go ahead.
You ever turn around
Yes.
on the toilet and use the shelf?
No, but I have thought about it.
I think about it often.
That'd be a
I spend a lot of time in the war room, and like,
your bathtub is not the war room. Can I just say
this
that?
man has never won a war. Let me put that on record.
Oh,
Shaney
I have.
has never won a war,
I've-
and he's
I've-
criticizing my war room.
Listen, my mental state is the war room. All right. I never leave.
And you think you're winning?
I never
All right.
leave.
No, the shelf would come in handy. You got a place to put your apple juice while you're in there.
Oh.
Nope. No, you're pooping different, man. You're
Hey,
pooping
I
different.
poop different.
Oh, hey, good for you.
You'll catch up. You'll catch on. That's how John Crapper invented to be used.
I think that this guy's doing the neighborhood a service, and I
Yeah.
don't think that there need to be a police intervention.
I
Not at
agree.
all.
I agree, but like this guy is definitely weird. He's voluntarily picking up the poop.
He's returning lost
Dude,
items.
there's poop all over everyone's yard in the neighborhood.
And it's this
You're
lady's
like, this
fault.
is. You're driving down your road after you get home from work, and you're like, this is disgusting.
I think these neighbors
Yeah.
need to get a gun.
All right. Well,
This
not,
is America, isn't it?
not every solution.
I think this solution is solved if you come out and the lady and her dog are pooping in your yard.
Both of them.
Yeah. And you show up with a gun.
What if the lady's pooping in the yards too?
That's what I'm concerned about.
And just getting away with it. Like, yeah, sorry, my dog takes a really small poop and then a really big poop next to it. Sorry.
It's like a 2-for-1 deal, you know?
Yeah.
There's the story. I think it's like an old Reddit story or something. It's got to be fake. There's no way it's real. But the pooping in the cat box, do you know about that?
The girl.
The girl-
that was on
Oh,
a date.
Yeah, she was on a date
Yeah.
and she pooped in the guy's cat box because she didn't want to
Yeah.
ask where the bathroom was, and then he asked if she did that.
Yeah.
And she said no, and the cat was dead for like 6 months or something like that.
Have you heard the poop knife?
Yeah,
Read
dude.
read the poop knife story?
Oh, I know about the poop knife.
That's a crazy.
I know somebody.
No, don't say you know a
No,
poop knife
no,
person.
no. I know somebody who has a poop stick.
Excuse me.
Mm.
You know someone. You both know this person. He's got a poop stick.
Get them out of my sight. Whoever, if it's Chris Jericho, get them out of my
It's not.
sight.
It could be. I cannot confirm or deny if Chris Jericho has a poop stick.
Chris Jericho probably has a bidet.
Something that I've
No,
seen.
Chris Jericho's too much of a man for that.
Something that I've seen that's interesting. People will be using people will use spatulas for their babies' butt creams
What?
to like put the
Like
butt.
a silicone spatula?
Yeah.
You've seen this in person.
I've heard about it, and
You're like,
I've heard about
my
it.
niece is getting changed, and someone just whipped out a spatula. Like, what? We're making burgers.
Yeah, we're flipping burgies.
Flipping babies.
Yeah, we're flipping
Don't
baby
do that.
burgies.
Hey, don't do that. If you're out there listening, and you're thinking about using a spatula on your newborn baby, don't do that.
Use your hands.
Yeah, that seems weird, man. It seems like cruel and unusual punishment. If your dog's pooping in someone else's yard,
Pick it up.
don't do that.
Yeah, pick it up.
Listen. And here's my solution. You're gonna think I'm a bad person for this.
Usually do.
Don't pick up dog poop because it's gross. However, don't let your dog poop in someone's yard because it's rude. You let your dog poop on the government property.
Oh, pooping
The
on
tree
the
lawn, the city has to take care of that. I pay enough in taxes to where if I have a dog, the city can pick up the poop on the tree lawn. Or my neighbors need to get a gun. There's only two solutions.
In theory, I agree with you. In practice, I know that the city would not be cleaning up that dog.
The
poop.
city can't handle the guy that's pissing in my trash can.
That's what I'm saying.
Let your
They're
dog
gonna
poop
have
on
to
the
deal with
road.
it. Don't let you. No,
Yeah.
I would be infinitely more pissed off
I
if
would
I
like-
had a neighbor whose dog pooped in the road than in my yard.
Mm,
If I'm driving and it's a regular occurrence that I'm running over dog shit and smelling it,
Yeah.
I am so much more livid than like
Yeah.
once in a while seeing turd in my yard.
You would have hated where I grew up. There was always
Yeah.
horse shit in the road.
That's different. They're horses.
no.
That's worse.
They
Yeah.
poop, and the horses just. First of all, horses pooping is wild. It just happens.
Yeah.
Like imagine if you just did poop.
It's almost like they get excited to poop.
You
ever
don't?
seen that?
I'm sorry, you don't get excited to poop.
They start like jumping and
You get a
farting
tray?
and shit. It's true.
Shane, I've seen you do the same thing.
All right, you're right.
You like
But-
kick your heels sometimes.
Yeah.
And,
Start
fart comes
neighing.
out.
oh god, Shane's gonna shit. We must be near the pack, son.
Start acting like a horse every time it's a shit. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, who needs a classical music show? Am I right?
Yeah, fuck that shit.
No, I'd be livid if the dog was pooping in the road. Like
Yeah.
that would make me like actually do something. I wouldn't be as polite as this man. I would be getting one of those grabbers you talked about and
Chucking it
aggressively
at their
chucking
house.
it. Yeah.
I love dogs, but the sight of a dog pooping is kind of guttural and disgusting. I'm
Yes.
gonna be
Well,
honest.
yeah. I don't think anyone enjoys that. Or at least you shouldn't.
No, it's
The
just,
dog doesn't enjoy it. Have you ever seen the dog's face while he's pooping?
It's just one
He's
of those
ashamed.
things where I love my dog so much, but like, and I will watch it poop because it watches me poop. But I'm like,
Returning
you
the
have a
favor?
bond.
but I'm like, damn, that's kind of fucked.
216-859-8699. Where do you poop?
Are you ready, kids? It's me, distinctively non-copyright unspecified Sponge Man, and you're listening to the Rebel Radio Show on WSRR. Make the switch.
Welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show. I am Shane E.
And I am Jules.
Rebel Studios is under fire right now, so we're holding the fort down. Switch 2 got announced, I think, last week.
Yeah.
It's kind of been a big topic of debate. I actually didn't bring... Normally, I'm the video game guy, but I didn't bring this one in today because I just kind of felt like... I don't know. Yeah, it's going to be expensive, and we all know it's going to be expensive, but we just looked at... before we came in, we looked... It's $450 for the pre-order right now, and I thought it was going to be... at least I heard.
I heard it was going to be like in the 600
Yeah.
realm.
I heard it was going to be 600s. And then the games are Rebel Studio is taking damage right now. Games are retailing at $80 in the U.S. And so that's going to be like the most expensive video games have, I think, ever been in the U.S. for like retail. They were $70 for the PS5.
Well, even digital games have gotten expensive.
Yeah, which is great, and it's crazy to think with this is becoming like a big thing with, again, like the PlayStation, and I think the Xbox has a digital only version too. But it's interesting to think about. You don't own that copy of the game if you buy it digitally. You're just like essentially, or Nintendo or whoever is telling you have the right to use this game for however long. If they decide, yoink, we want this game off shelves, or we want to pull this game for whatever reason, they could theoretically take it off of your device if you had already like pre-downloaded it off the game store digitally or something like that. And I think about that with like streaming music and stuff too. It's very strange that you don't own all of your music on your Spotify. You just are Spotify is just allowing you to use it for as long as you're paying for it. By the way, I think I can say confidently, here in the Rebel Studio, we sound good. I sound, at least I feel like I sound okay.
Yeah, you sound good, Shane. Good
Thanks.
job.
I'm feeling better. I defeated all my demons, and I sound good. I feel good.
Even though you don't have a war room?
I have a war room. It's just in my brain.
I don't have a mic. Oh, there you go.
Oh,
I was talking this whole time actually, and my mic was just turned off.
Yeah, we were over talking you.
Yeah,
it felt like what you had to say about the Switch just wasn't.
Well, yeah, I don't play the Switch, so you just
you
thought I was
got
gonna
a Switch
poop.
though, right?
I did. I got a Switch when they came out too. I worked at GameStop and I got a Switch.
Yeah.
No, I was hyped when the Switch came out because of two things. Because Pokemon Diamond is my favorite Pokemon game. It's the one I grew up playing. There's probably over 100 hours in that game.
Yeah.
I'm like, sweet. They're remastering Pokemon Diamond. Never thought they would. Because it wasn't like a huge game.
Right.
So I wanted to get my Switch specifically for Pokemon Diamond.
Right.
And then Lego Star Wars, the Complete Saga, was coming to the Switch. Or Skywalker, whatever.
Skywalker Saga.
Yeah. Complete Saga was way back.
That's the OG. That's like the GameCube.
But I grew up on Lego Star Wars too on the Game Boy, so I'm like, sweet, I'll get Lego Star Wars. And then I got both of them, and I played them both for like a week and a half, and I never touched my Switch again.
I play the Switch daily.
Yeah, see, I guess I forgot about that too. I was just talking about the games that I have for my Switch that I haven't played yet.
Yeah.
And so I have Princess Peach Showtime, which is like Princess Peach's game for the Switch. Seems fun. I'm excited for it. And then I have Lego Star Wars. I forgot I got that for like $5 on sale. But I was into playing my Switch when I got the OLED, and I was super hyped about it. And I played like Super Mario Wonder and stuff like that. But I don't know. I've kind of been in a lull. I haven't been playing it recently. And maybe something like more games coming out for the Switch too, and then being ported to the Switch will get me to play. But and I wonder too if that'll change the retail price for Switch games.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You think Switch games are going to start being $80? Because that would kind of be fucked up.
I think so. Definitely.
It's just one of those things where, like we were talking about it before we went on, I remember getting the Switch for $300.
Right.
And that was expensive to me at the time. But like $450 is like... And granted, it's going to be a nice console. It's going to be a high-res console. I've seen, like, it sounds silly, but I've seen Fortnite gameplay on there, and Fortnite runs like dog shit on the original.
On the Switch? Yeah, it's
runs
garbage.
like dog shit. But it's supposed to run pretty good. Like, from the gameplay that I saw, it looked clean and, like, high resolution and shit. So
here's my big issue, right? Nintendo, more or less, has been the economy console. GameCubes were like $50 when they came out. The Wii wasn't that expensive. Everybody had the fucking Wii. Obviously, you had Game Boys and DS. I guess like the 3DS when they started like up them a little bit, like make all the extra shit.
Yeah.
You had the 2DS, the 3DS, the DSi, like all the extra shit. I guess those are probably a little more expensive than they should have been. Resale on them is crazy.
I remember
I
got my little brother a 2DS for, I was like $30 at the time.
Okay,
like 35, brand new in box, came with two games.
Shit. All right.
Yeah. from from the store.
Well, that was an
the
answer to the 3DS, because the 3DS was super pricey, because you had like the 3DS XL or whatever, and it was like $400 for a handheld game.
And that was supposed to be like the cheap version.
Yeah.
So
you could play the same games on it, but it wasn't the fancy
It was like
one.
a flat thing.
It was your sedan.
Yes.
Yeah. But like more or less, the Nintendo brand has always been the more economy brand. Even the Switch. Like when the Switch came out and the Switch Lite came out, especially, you had the Xbox X and S, and you had the PS5 coming out at the same time.
Right.
And again, a lot of it was due to supply and demand. But like you had PS5s going for $550.
Retailing.
Yeah, minimum retail.
Retailing. You're buying it from like Best Buy or GameStop or wherever from that price. Now
the Xbox X was about the same price. I bought the S specifically because they ran a great deal.
Mm-hmm.
The Xbox S brand new, like the month that came out, was like $250, $300.
Oh, dude!
Like that, it was the price of a Switch.
Right, and they would always do the X would be, or like the X would be more expensive and the S would be less expensive, where they had like the digital version that would be less money.
Yeah.
And they did the same thing with the PS5, where they had the console, or not the disc like plug-in.
Yeah.
And then they had the one that was all digital, and the all digital one was cheaper.
It was like $50 cheaper or something like that. Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, even with that though, the Switch when they came out, they're like $350, $400. Switch Lite was always like $200 new.
Yeah.
Which I mean is a good deal for a console.
Right.
But the thing is, my problem with this, and especially now, Switch 2 is coming out. It's the price that an Xbox or PlayStation would be at retail, if not more. More than an Xbox S, certainly.
Right.
So you have this. You have games that are going to be $80 base price now. Not talking deluxe, not talking a special release and anything like that, because now those are going to be outrageous too.
Yeah.
You get like a deluxe version of Pokemon or something that comes out, you're looking at like $200.
Mario Kart?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be like $200.
So like at a base price, you're paying more than you should for a Nintendo product. And my big issue, and you've heard me talk about this before, Nintendo games are not to the standard that other games are. And I'm not talking playability, because they're fun games, they're very beloved.
Right.
Mario, Pokemon, Sonic, right?
Staple games, right?
Yeah. But they're not Halo. They're not graphically, they're not like storyline advanced as a Halo or even a Call of Duty or an Assassin's Creed. Like,
Well, I don't know. They did really well with Hogwarts Legacy.
Are you saying like they aren't going to be able to compete with the Xboxes and the PlayStations in terms of they can run things like a Halo where a Switch 2 can't?
kind of. Running it is certainly part of it, but like even just quality of game. Like you look at a Mario, that's a lot easier to make and code than a Halo is. There's a lot more detail that goes into a Halo, just from an engine standpoint.
I think, in my opinion, it's a lateral move. I think they're working within the refrains that they can with a Switch.
Right, but because of that, they should not be the same price as an Xbox X.
Yes.
Like at your very best, you're not gonna run Halo, Halo 5 on a Switch. It won't work.
Right.
You can't run Fortnite right now on a Switch, which graphically is about the standard of a normal Switch game.
Right.
So like the fact that can't run on a normal Switch is crazy to me. And there's a bunch of games like that don't run right on the Switch. Like even games that are from years ago that they just ported don't run right on the Switch.
Right.
You're always going to have that limitation, and that's a limitation that you have to have when you're going to handheld. You can look at like the PS Pro, and they have limitations when it comes to games because you can't put a full-fledged game on a handheld and expect it to run exactly the same. So like that's always going to be a limitation when it comes to the Switch, and I think it's absolutely ridiculous that now I want to play Mario Kart, a game at its essence, which is much more limited than like any other race, like a Gran Turismo, right? I could buy a Gran Turismo racing game for $70 right now for the PS5.
Right.
And I could buy Mario Kart for $80 for the Switch too.
Right.
You're much more limited at a base value, and you're charging me more.
I see what you're saying.
That's where I don't think it's right.
I don't know. I'm also worried about the breakability of the Switch 2 because I saw the new Joy-Con connectors.
Oh yeah, how they like click off.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem very stable to me.
Yeah, I've seen
my Joy-Cons already are a little unstable, and they're the whole locking mechanism. You know.
I had to get a new Switch because my first one had Joy-Con drift.
Well,
my sticks completely broke.
Let me tell you this: working at GameStop, number one thing that came back:
Joy-Cons.
Switches.
Yeah.
Switches in general, because of the Joy-Cons. People didn't know how to take them out right, or they wouldn't lock in right, or the pins wore out, or the Joy-Con wore out. Another thing, because they are just connecting to the actual dock,
Right.
you cannot test a Joy-Con for stick drift at a GameStop. So, like,
Oh,
if someone
wow.
says, hey, I want to return or I want to trade in my Joy-Cons,
Mm-hmm.
all we do is ask them, well, do they work? Is there any drift? No? Okay, they're on the shelf.
Wow. That's
Yeah, we
crazy.
couldn't physically test them because you don't have, like, a model Switch in store to...
Right, I see that.
Yep. Whereas, like, an Xbox or PlayStation or a 360 controller, we have a system set up through GameStop where you plug it into the computer
Right.
and it analyzes every button as you press it. And if it sticks, if there's drift, if there's rumble,
Interesting.
Switch,
That's crazy.
nothing like it.
I will say, this is something that I've thought about getting, because I just got my OLED semi recently, and like I said, I went through
Yeah.
a big like surge of playing it, and I really loved it, and now I'm kind of in a lull of not playing it, even though I have games that I want to play. But point being, Nintendo feels like, at least in my opinion, and this is from like having a PlayStation and having an Xbox and also having Nintendo consoles, having
Right.
the Wii and
Right.
the GameCube and the DS, whatever. Nintendo products, especially now, feel like a toy.
Yeah.
It feels like I'm playing with a toy, whereas playing a PlayStation or something like that, I feel like I'm operating a system or something like that. And it sounds dumb because
No, you're
literally
right.
my PlayStation is just a Fortnite or streaming machine
Yeah.
for me for the most part. So like I'm not doing any intense gaming.
And now they
but-
cost the same amount of money.
Yeah, right. And so it's like, why am I not playing Fortnite on? I don't know.
Well, to your point, and I was going to bring this up, I think you're absolutely right. And I think the problem is, starting with our generation, we have always been the market for Nintendo.
Mm.
Like, before us with the GameCube, but the N64, we weren't the market, obviously. And you can see, as it reflects in time, the NES, the N64, the GameCube, right? They're all marketed at, like, kids to teenagers. All of them are. I could say the same thing about the Game Boy, the DS, marketed at kids and teenagers. I could say the same thing about the Wii. The Wii was more of a family console,
Yeah.
but primarily who was playing it? Kids and
Kids,
teenagers,
right.
right? After that, even with like the 3DS, you're marketing to teenagers to adults because the kids that were playing all those Nintendo systems are growing up and they're cashing in on nostalgia. I think that's
Right.
exactly what Nintendo's doing. Even with the Switch, I think the Switch was a huge cash grab where, like you said, it seems like it'd be marketed as a toy game. Like when we were 10 years old and we had a DS. Seems like the perfect handheld console for a kid at that age.
Right.
So does a Switch.
Right.
But who's buying the Switches? 20-somethings, 30-somethings are buying these Switches so they can play the remaster of Pokemon or the new Mario game or the new Zelda that
The
came
new
out.
Animal Crossing.
Right. So, like, they know that, and I think they're marketing now, and this is why they can get away with price hikes like this and essentially selling the same console with the same limitations to a degree at such a high price because they're not selling it to 10-year-old Timmy anymore.
Right.
They're selling it to the 35-year-old who wants to play the new Mario Kart, who played the first Mario Kart.
The nostalgia factor.
Yeah, it's Nintendo is running strictly off nostalgia, and they get away with it.
Well, and it's a situation that's so difficult too because they're so unique in the gaming industry.
Yeah.
Of like they have a corner on their market which they have built up over years of good reputation, and so you're not going to play the new Mario Kart game on your PlayStation.
Right,
That's
right.
not. That's
Yeah.
never going to be possible. And so, if you want to, like we were just talking before we came on, I'm really excited for the new Donkey Kong game. But to buy the Switch and to buy that, it's going to be like $560 or something
Yeah.
like that. $570.
Yeah.
Do I want to spend that much on
That's always what I think about, and I think
just to play Donkey
Right.
Kong?
One
Like-
system, one game. Yeah.
Right, right.
that's always the biggest factor I look at is the initial purchase.
right.
What am I going to spend out of the gate to buy this? When I got my Xbox S, I got it like a year after it came out, and I got it with a trade because I knew that I could trade. I traded my old Xbox and Switch. I traded a Switch for it with my old Xbox controllers and a Switch. I traded for my Xbox S, and because the S was only $250 brand new, and I had like a pro membership through GameStop and a
Right.
discount, so like I paid maybe $60 out the door for the S for a second controller, and ended up whatever game I pre-ordered with it,
Right.
like $60 out the door for all of it. That's fine by me. Even
Right.
the $250 would have been fine by me out the door. But you're looking at this, it's $600-something odd with tax just for this console if you pre-order it, right?
Right.
So you pre-order this console for $600, then you don't have games on it. You don't have a Nintendo account on it if you haven't already set up a Nintendo account. So you're paying another $80 for a game, one game. You're paying $10 a month for Nintendo Online. You're paying for Joy-Cons. You're paying if you don't want to. You don't. It's all this other shit that like just to play the game, you have to spend more than the console's worth.
Well, and that's something else that we didn't talk about. The game.
Yeah.
The game that shows you, I forget what they're calling it, but there's a game that essentially like shows you, walks you through the system as like a tutorial game.
The demo disc
The
kind of
demo
thing.
disc sort of thing. And they're charging $10 for it. It's
That's so
not
stupid.
It's not a free included thing. It's not something that is like, if you have Nintendo Switch Online, you get this. It's a $10 purchase no matter what, and so many people are going to skip out on it and not.
Yeah, because why would you pay that much for? Why would you pay anything for a tutorial?
Right, there's zero replayability.
Yeah,
it's just there to teach you how to use the console for the first time. If you don't know how to use it, it makes no sense at all.
This gives me very dystopian, like North Korea vibes of the console's out and we don't put any games out for it other than this tutorial for the first year. So you have to buy this game if you want. But they're putting games out, so it's not like that's happening.
Right.
But like that's the only scenario I could see someone paying for this game because it's the only thing made for this console.
Yeah, it's just such a strange.
And game is a stretch. It's like a demo. It's a walkthrough.
We were talking about it before we went on about like Wii Sports was a free included game. There were demo discs and
they shot themselves in the foot with Wii Sports. And I think they are the reason why we will never get anything like that again. Because they realized the free game they gave with the console was the best game that they put out.
Right.
Everyone fucking loved that game.
Right.
It was probably the most played fucking, like, I think Mario...
Thousands of hours per console.
Yeah. I
per
think...
household. Every family get-together in the 2010s was Wii Sports.
Wii Bowling. Everyone wanted to play Wii Bowling.
Right.
It was like Mario Odyssey. It was like the second or third best like selling Wii game. But I'm pretty sure like Wii Sports was the most played Wii game.
That.
Because it was free. It came with the console and everyone liked it. It was simple enough. They'll never do that again because they saw how much replayability it had. We saw it with the Switch. They could have put out Switch Sports for free.
Yeah.
And they didn't. And it wasn't a $60 game. Because they knew people would be mad. It was like a $35 game.
Right. But it was the same concept as
But it
Wii
tested
Sports.
the waters for this.
Yeah.
Now you don't even get a game. You get how the console works. Pay us $10.
Yeah, that's true. It's not even like... Because Wii Sports was a tutorial and a game.
Yeah.
It was a game.
Several games.
Right. It was several games that were like...
teaching you how to use the motion controls.
Yeah, cloaked as a tutorial, or tutorial cloaked as several games, you know?
Yeah.
And this is just a boring tutorial. It looks like you're walking around the Switch 2, which that's kind of a fun concept, but there's no game. I mean, I guess, I don't know, I haven't played it, but there's no game aspect to that. Like, that was the total indication of like, this is what's going to happen. Something this way come.
We will never get another like console release with a game. That's not like a bundle that you pay extra for, right? It's that we're never going to get another, hey, here, you bought a Switch, here's a free game. It's not going to happen anymore.
Right.
I'd be surprised if we see it across any console now. Like, obviously, they do the bundles, and they make a shit to, like, the PS5 had the God of War bundle, the Forza bundle for the Xbox.
Right.
Like, they make a shit ton of money doing that, so I don't think there's any going back.
Did the Spider-Man PS2 come with the game?
PS5?
Or whatever.
Yeah. It did. So there's no going back. But, like, we were talking before we got on there, Game Jam used to be a hell of a thing.
Yeah.
You get a Game Jam in the mail, and it's, 7 or 8 demos on a disc that maybe you get to play 15 minutes each of.
Right, but like, still, it's fun.
It's free.
You play the first mission and a half,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh, I want to go rent this game from Blockbuster, or I want to go buy, rent this game from Blockbuster, or I want to go buy this game, or whatever.
And guess what?
Buy this game, or whatever.
And guess what? It worked.
Yeah, right.
It's marketing that worked.
Right.
What was the game website where you could like rent them?
Gamefly's
like rent them.
Gamefly is still a thing.
Really?
I saw yesterday. I was actually still a thing.
Really?
I saw yesterday. I was actually going to talk to you about it. I saw yesterday. I don't know if it was Gamefly or a similar site, but they were advertising renting 2K25 WWE.
That's crazy.
And I looked at it and said, that's a crazy concept in 2025. A crazy concept in 2025 to rent a video game.
Well, when you were
rent a video game.
Well, when you were fixing the audio, whatever.
Talking about poop.
When you were manning the stations, we were talking about like how games used to. I don't remember. Games used to be free. something?
No, downloading games.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you don't own games.
Yeah.
You just kind of own, or like you're renting them from
Right.
the Xbox Game Store or
Well,
the
And
the
Xbox is
PlayStation Game
terrible
Store.
with it. Xbox is probably the worst with it, man. Because not only now do you have to buy Game Pass, but there's like 3 tiers of it. So like if you buy Game Pass now, that is your normal Xbox Live, and you get like 25 games.
The whole Game Pass and like PlayStation Plus thing really throws me off,
And then
it
they
makes me
remove
like,
games, and then they...
yeah, it makes me not want to get any of that because I'm so worried about, well, if I start getting invested in this game and then
Yeah.
I take it off, or if I don't feel like, you know, wanting to pay the triple platinum pass or whatever this, you know.
You know what
it's
sucks?
just-
And I literally last night this happened. I know we got like a minute. Last night this happened. I had a question in my mind to myself
Mhm.
about a PS2 game. I'm like, damn, I remember this being a thing on a PS2 game, but I can't verify, I can't find it online. I went downstairs, turned on the PS2, put the game in, and had an answer in 2 minutes. Turned it on, game loaded, there it is.
Right.
Now, you got to log in to everything, log into your 2K account, log into your Xbox
Yeah.
account, connect to the
Yeah.
internet, sign up for a fucking account. Like, there's so much
Microsoft account.
Yeah, there's so much bullshit now just to play a game.
Yeah.
You buy a Switch from the store, your first Switch, you buy this new Switch, $600, and you come home and you spend an hour setting up a fucking Nintendo account.
Right. Or like switching your Nintendo account from your old Switch to your new Switch because you
Moving
know
everything over.
Right, you know that there's going to be like a transfer process, and it's probably not going to take super long, but you still have to, you know, plug them in or whatever.
Buying the Island Transfer app
Yeah.
to transfer your Animal Crossing.
Bring back the
island.
cartridge. 216-859-8699.
He's out in the car, listening to the Rebel Radio Show.
Hey, welcome back to the Rebel Radio Show. We're live, uncut, and uncensored on WSRR, saving the underground music scene. Am I right, Shani?
Hey, everyone.
On the board is Jules.
Howdy.
I'm radio's Rebel DJ style. We're brought to you by Hellbender Vinyl out of Pittsburgh, PA. They're one of America's most trusted custom vinyl record pressing plants, and they work with local and independent artists to get your next album release made onto something special, pressed exactly to your liking in a whole variety of colors and styles. They have unmatched potential when it comes to Hellbender Vinyl. Go to their Instagram, check out some of the things that they've already done. They worked with Mountain Dew and Seal in this past Super Bowl to make the Mountain Dew Baja Blast vinyl.
I saw that.
They do amazing work. I encourage everyone to check them out on Instagram as well as hellbendervinyl.com because they're hellbent on quality, hellbent on service. Hellbendervinyl.com. 216-859-8699, the number today to text in live or leave a voicemail if you'd like. Once again, 216-859-8699 on this Monday evening. That number will get you to us, but it will not get you to DoorDash.
Ah, you need an app for that.
They got an app for that.
Yeah.
What is that a saying from? What does that line come from?
We need an app for that?
There's an app for that.
Oh.
I think it was an iPhone thing.
Is it?
Yeah, like
I don't doubt it.
When iPhones first started coming, like early iPhones, their commercials were like, "There's an app for that."
How 180 that's come.
Yeah.
What,
How
like
negative of a saying that is. Probably.
Calculator.
Probably.
Speaking
Taxes, stocks.
Speaking of like old commercial sayings, I saw a Pete Davidson Verizon commercial where he said at the end of it, he goes, "Can you hear me now?" And I thought that was a Sprint thing.
Verizon owns Sprint.
See, okay. And it was one of those things where I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
that's
it definitely was.
I was like, that's funny because I know that that wasn't originally Verizon's thing, and it's funny that Pete Davidson's doing it, but I couldn't remember what it was from.
If I'm not mistaken, the Can You Hear Me Now guy left Verizon and went to Sprint.
Oh, wow.
And, they did a parody of that.
Oh, wow.
Before Sprint got bought out.
You can hear me now.
Yeah, you can hear me now is what he
Yeah.
said. And then they ended up buying out Sprint anyway.
That's so funny.
Yeah. Also, fun fact.
You took our guy, we're taking your company.
That's so good. Also, fun fact. Up until 3 years ago, something like that, Sprint obviously was bought out by Verizon.
Right.
So no one had Sprint anymore.
Right.
But NASCAR was still called the Sprint Cup Series up until 3 years ago.
What?
And I realized it the other day. I think they were the only thing still using Sprint as an actual term or
I wonder if there was some kind of deal. And,
Probably.
On the dotted line, they contractually couldn't call it anything else but the Sprint Cup.
Well, because 2010, 11, 12-ish, somewhere around there, they switched to the Nextel Cup Series when Nextel was still a thing. And then Nextel got bought out by Sprint.
Right.
So that only lasted a year or two, and then it was the Sprint Cup Series. But after Sprint was bought out, they continued to call it that. And then,
Interesting.
I don't know, maybe 2023, somewhere around there, they finally switched to the Monster Energy Series.
Oh,
and
interesting.
now, no sponsor. Because they make more money allowing multiple sponsors sponsor the entire concept of NASCAR. So now it's just the NASCAR Cup Series.
That's
no sponsor.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
How sponsorship works and if they change things like that where... you think about, they could do something like that for stadiums.
Oh, yeah.
Have multiple sponsors for one stadium.
I
and
think
then
they
it's
do
just
in
called-
some.
That's very interesting.
Well, it's we can talk about this another time because I know we got something to talk about.
Sure.
But NASCAR has changed the entire format of how races are done because of sponsorship.
What? That's
they
wild.
race in 3 stages. So you do 120 laps in that stage 1 because if they stop the race momentarily there, they can play more sponsorship. And then they can pick it back up in stage 2.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so they stop the race so they can afford more time for sponsorship.
That's super weird.
Yeah, super corporate.
Yeah,
but it could be the NASCAR DoorDash Cup. I would watch that.
Vroom,
It
vroom.
makes sense, Dash.
Right to your door.
Yeah.
Yeah, DoorDash should sponsor some kind of motor vehicle
Yeah,
event.
that'd be a great pairing.
The F2 DoorDash, sponsored by DoorDash.
Yeah, they can't get Marlboro anymore, so
Yeah.
they'll do fucking...
That's funny.
So
Or
tell me about
F1.
this DoorDash thing. I think F2 is a thing.
So basically,
F3,
this
fuck it.
mom,
F5, Brock Lesnar sponsored by DoorDash instead of Jimmy John's.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
this mom found out when she woke up that her 12-year-old son had stayed up late playing video games and decided to
miss those
DoorDash
days.
food to his bedroom window.
Great
And
move.
There was a security camera footage of the DoorDasher walking up to the kid's bedroom window and the kid going, "Thank you," and he's like, "All right, bye."
It's one of those things where you know that the kid felt so slick and badass in the moment, and then the next morning the mom just shows him that video, and he's like, "Fuck!"
Yeah.
You know, like, damn it, I thought I was getting away with
And like,
it.
that definitely came out of her card too. So
Oh,
like he's
yeah.
like,
Right.
eventually she'll find out about it. Yeah.
Right. I'll just say that I DoorDashed it like
Yeah.
earlier in the night or something like that.
I think I've told the story on air before. I had one instance where I ever tried to play it slick like that when it came to Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
Is I went to, I think I was playing a wrestling game probably like WWE 12 or something, and I went to get online and my gold had expired, and I'm like, oh, my dad's card's still on file. I'm just gonna put it through.
Yeah.
And literally not 20 minutes later, he came into my room and was like, "Did you buy something?" I'm like, "Oh, I might. I probably on accident."
Whoa, oops.
Yeah.
Whoa.
He knew damn well I fucking paid for that. And that was the
Oops.
first and last time I tried to pull that
That's
shit.
so funny. Yeah, stuff like
Like a great night for this kid.
yeah, sounds like he was up till what it said in the article.
2:30 a.m.
Yeah.
is when he DoorDashed.
12-year-old kid
So
playing
even
video games
later.
up till 2:30. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh,
I'm hungry.
I want McDonald's."
Yeah. You know it was something simple like that,
Right,
too.
right. He just got like cheeseburgers or
Yeah,
something.
chicken nuggets.
Right, right. Oh yeah, look, he got McDonald's.
Look
it
at
was
that.
literally McDonald's. Yeah, that's some little kid ass shit, and that's definitely he like had a great time doing.
You know
that.
he was like on a Discord call with his buddies or something, and they were
Felt-
hyping him up.
felt clever as hell.
He's
he
like,
was
"Dude,
like,
what if I just DoorDashed?"
I'm gonna get some McDonald's, guys.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
They're like,
dude.
"No, you're not."
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. No, you're not. You're too chicken. Fuck you guys. I'm doing it. I'm using my mom's card.
Not gonna lie though, man, if I'm the guy delivering, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to the side
Yeah.
window to hand this kid his food.
It's one of those things where
Sketchy.
you get the. I'm trying to get my POV as the dasher. It's like you get the message on
Yeah.
the app in your car, and you're like, okay, go to the side window. Like that's a little sus.
Yeah, I won't be
But-
doing that.
As soon as you
So-
see the kid hanging out the window, what do you do?
Well, yeah, it's like you see it and you're like, huh, that's weird. You might as well do it. You walk to the side window. You see a little 12-year-old kid like, hey, it's me. I'm the one. It's me. Like, come on. That's hilarious. I guess I would give it to the kid. Like, fuck it. I'm a
Yeah, you know
DoorDasher.
what? Yeah.
In my opinion, fuck it. I'm a DoorDasher. I'm not working, this isn't some
Someone
crazy.
cut that. Get Shane saying, "Fuck it, I'm a DoorDasher."
Yeah.
Career change.
Don't take it too seriously. You're DoorDashing at 2:30 in the morning. If it's
That's-
a little
I
12-year-old
guess
kid,
that's fair.
he's probably tipped, He probably
Yeah.
gave
No
you
way.
Oh yeah.
No
he
way
tipped.
this kid
Assume?
tips.
I would assume.
I think he tipped.
I would have to assume.
Okay, you know what? He tipped only because at 12 years old,
You don't understand how DoorDash works.
And saying he downloaded it for this, he definitely didn't notice they add a tip automatically.
Right. He
So probably give him like a $5 tip.
Probably was just instinctual. Like
or
didn't
maybe
even
$2 if it was like a $5 order.
whatever was pre-picked on the app.
Yeah.
No
he
way.
just went
No way.
with.
This got to be at least $5. The kid doesn't have DoorDash Pass.
That's fair.
Just download the
You're
app.
right.
That's definitely a $5 tip. Come on.
Yeah, I don't think
Delivery
that.
fee.
Well, and that's the other thing. I don't think he has. I don't think he has a concept of what a
Oh,
bad
yeah.
tip is, or like a
Right.
good or bad tip is,
Or money.
Right. He's just whatever.
He just wanted some nuggets.
He's just hitting buttons to get chicken nuggets.
He's literally just playing Roblox. He's like, damn, I could go for some nuggets.
If I push enough buttons, chicken nuggets will arrive at my window. That's such a crazy concept.
That's
I mean,
crazy.
I would have done the same thing. If
Me
that
too.
was technology when we were 12,
Right.
I would absolutely have been doing that.
And a year from now, it's going to be like, let me just ask ChatGPT to do this for
Yeah.
me.
Listen,
You can ask Google to.
I've been asking ChatGPT to do stuff for me recently.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like what?
like generate pictures and shit.
Oh, really?
Like modify things I make.
really?
Yeah, just to see how well it will do it.
Hmm.
So like I had it re-render an image I made.
Mhm.
I said, hey, I said, hey, if I send you an image, can you render it and change this in this style, and send it and just see if it does it.
Right.
And it has been.
Interesting.
ChatGPT is always it's always evolving.
It's very good, and it will always be very, very good. Like,
so if I ask it to send me chicken nuggets, I mean,
right. That's what I'm saying. I think in like a year or so, you're going to be able to swipe down on your iPhone and ask ChatGPT to,
It'll
hey,
be connected to your card.
have the
Yeah.
Nugget app.
yeah, send me
You don't even have
chicken
to do
nuggets.
anything other than press the Nugget app, and it orders them to your door.
Do you remember Amazon did those buttons?
Yeah,
where
I
you
do.
would just press the button and it would ship something to your house? That was really cool.
What did it ship? Just something?
It was whatever, like you could buy buttons for specific products.
Oh,
and so
really?
there were like, I remember my mom's fiance got like the Tide and like washing and drying detergent or like
That's
dryer
smart.
sheets, and we set them up in the laundry room, and you would just hit a button, and
That's so How often did you order laundry sheets when you didn't need them?
I only pressed it like once or twice.
Just to see.
Yeah. I would get Doritos.
I
would hit a Doritos button and just keep hitting it all the time.
Was that your moment of I'm just to see what happens. I'm gonna make this chart.
Oh no, I would just do it. I just did it at
I just
will.
didn't care.
Yeah, I just did it at
Hey,
will.
the button's here to press. I'm
Right.
gonna press the
It's a free
button.
button. It was fun.
Why do we have 10 orders of Tide laundry detergent on the front porch?
That's the thing, man.
Yeah.
I'd get bored and I wouldn't be able to trust myself with the Amazon button. It could be something as mundane as that, and like I would walk past it and want to press it.
But yeah, right. You're going into the lunchroom, might as well
They
click
know
it.
what they're doing with the button.
Right.
I'm surprised they haven't tried to bring the button back.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it got discontinued.
Yeah.
and they're not doing it anymore.
Yeah. I still, if I'm the DoorDash driver here, though, I still wouldn't be, because here's my
I'm
mindset.
kind of coming around to that because I'm thinking about
It's
it now.
2:30 in the morning,
Yeah, come to the side
and
of.
someone says, "Come to the side window." I'm like, "That's
Right.
super sketchy."
That's a little weird.
and
Yeah, 'cause
then
usually you have to leave
Right.
through the door.
And the amount of times I've ordered DoorDash and given those instructions, or they have called and asked me, and they still don't listen and just leave it at my door.
Right.
Like, this is ridiculous that this kid's getting this delivery treatment for his first time.
It's some top
That's
quality
top tier.
A1.
He deserves the
Yeah.
tip.
Yeah.
But no, if I'm the DoorDash driver and I get a message that says "come to the side window," instantly not doing that.
Kind of.
But then if I start walking and I see a kid hanging out the window, also not giving him the order, because I'm like, I'm
But
gonna
you're
assume,
already there.
but I'm gonna assume adult made this purchase, so I'm gonna leave this order for the adult that made the purchase.
No. Listen, hear me out.
Yeah.
Listen to this caveat.
Yeah.
What if in the instructions the kid includes, "Hey, I'm a kid and I don't want my parents to know."
Probably still gonna leave at the door.
Really? I would.
Yeah.
I would definitely hook the kid up.
I'm snitching.
I would believe it.
I'm snitching.
No,
Yeah.
I would believe it.
I'm,
'Cause then that's the other
snitching
thing.
in fear that this like transaction's gonna get debated.
Yeah, canceled,
Yeah.
and I'm going to lose my tip.
Yeah.
I guess that's valid.
The woman's gonna call DoorDash and be like, "I didn't order this."
well, I don't
It's
know.
like when
DoorDash support sucks though, so they definitely wouldn't reverse.
Because
the
if they
charge.
leave that, if they leave like, "Hey, I'm a kid and I'm trying to sneak away from my parents, or I'm trying to sneak this order away from my parents, please deliver it to the window."
Still sounds sus. Still sounds like a setup to me.
I don't know.
I feel like I'm gonna get shanked.
Because that's the you're not getting shanked, but there's something you believe something sus might happen.
Yeah.
You still have the instructions of like you can show corporate DoorDash,
That's
"Hey,
fair.
this
Yeah.
is what they told me to do, so this is what I did." This was literally
Yeah.
in the instructions from the customer tab. Like, what do you want me to do? Not follow the instructions?
Did I tell you the story about when I tried to sell my
Was it on DoorDash?
clothes? It's on Facebook Marketplace.
Uh-oh.
No, so I had an Apple Watch, a pretty new one, and I didn't have an Apple anymore, so I put it on Facebook Marketplace for like $100. And someone messaged me. They said, "Hey, I want to buy it. Can you meet me?" Sure. And it was not a great part of town. But I'm like, "Yeah, no, I'll come down, whatever." So
Wait, where was it? Where were you meeting at?
down, like, not downtown Akron, but
Well, was it like a store?
no,
or
it was just like this dude wanted me to drop it at his house. It's like, I'm not getting out of my truck. I'm just,
if it's anything like that, I'm like, we're meeting at the fucking drug mart.
right.
or
No,
some
yeah,
shit,
we're gonna meet
you
at the
know?
police station, which is
Right.
typically what I do.
Right.
But like, I'm like, oh, I will find a gas station on the street or something, because the whole thing was the guy didn't have a car. That's what I was told. So I'm like, all right, well, while I'm driving, I'll stop at a gas station. Be like, hey, I'm down the street. That was my thought process.
Right.
But there was it's like almost like a cul-de-sac, nothing around. So I'm like,
Sure.
fuck, I'll just park on the side of the road. I'm gonna stay in my car. I'll roll my window down, and we'll do it
Right.
that way, right?
Right.
So I'm driving. I found the directions, and I park, and there's like a trucking depot, like a warehouse. I'm like, oh, I'll park right there. That's great. It's a business. There's cameras.
Right.
Cool.
Right.
So I park there, and I let them know, hey, I'm outside by this red truck that's out here.
Mhm.
Come get it. Whatever. I don't see you. Like, all right, that's sus. Well, here's where I am. This is the address, right? Yep. Well, it turns out they gave me like a west instead of a east or something like that, so I was at the wrong end of the street. So I drive all the way down to the other end of the street, and at this point, I'm just annoyed, and I want to get rid of the thing, get my money, and leave.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, park out in front of this dude's house, park on the street, and I'm waiting. It's getting darker out, and the guy's like, all right, well, what are you in? I'm like, here, this is the car I'm in.
Mhm.
I'll be waiting in my car. I'm not coming out of the car.
Right.
You can come up to my window and we can do it.
Right.
Nobody on the street, like nobody's out. It's getting dark out. No one's out, and like this dude's texting me actively, and I'm looking around like, what's? You're telling me you're trying to find me, and I don't see anyone. No one's on their phone.
Right.
And the only people I've seen are 2 kids walking up and down the street, like little kids, like 8, 9 years old. And it's the little kid walking up to my truck. And I see this, and I literally just pull out and leave. And as soon as I pull out and leave, I see this kid who's on his phone text me and say, "Was that you? Why'd you leave?" And I'm like, I'm not selling you. Like, if you're walking around at 8 years old for like $100, that is not yours. I'm not like selling you this fucking watch. Like,
I don't need your mom yelling at me on Facebook
I don't need that.
Marketplace.
I don't need this to be a setup where someone comes out with a gun. Like, I'm not getting mugged by 10-year-olds here.
Right.
So that was my sus encounter. 216-859-8699. Let me know yours.
Stinky rope.
Clip that.
Yeah. I'm scratching my ass.
Oh.
I'm eating the cheese.
You know what's a term that's
Ew.
not around anymore? That faded really quick? Drip.
Yo, you got drip,
No
man.
one says drip,
Drip.
other than Seth Rollins.
There's a lot of those terms. Swag.
Swag has been dead for 15 years,
Yeah,
and I'm
but-
still saying it.
But swag and drip were kind of like the same thing. And
Oh,
both
absolutely.
have faded out of
Drip
style.
was the new
Slay.
age swag.
Slay. People sashay now. You're sashaying.
That's not a thing. There's no way.
Sway. Yeah.
What's the other one? There's another one.
Riz.
No,
Sure.
Riz is still
Skibbity.
there.
Riz is kind of getting old though, I think.
They know.
Yeah.
The kids know that us old folk have been using it.
They're learning new ones, and I don't think that we know them yet.
Yeah, no, they're evading us at all costs.
I think they know slang that we don't know now.
Oh, absolutely. Because it's because we tried too hard. It's because we tried too hard.
Pokemon's still cool.
Is it?
I think. I mean, enough to sell for $90,000. There's a.
Is Pokemon cool or are Cheetos cool?
Okay. For context, there's a.
What do you mean? You don't think that was enough context?
There's a Charizard-shaped Cheeto that has sold recently for $90,000. Now to answer the year thing to say who you are to
Style,
say,
nice to meet you.
I think that the fad of like I have a Jesus Christ,
Can
and I'm
that,
gonna
can
sell
that
it on
stay in the
eBay.
80s?
Yeah, it's not cool. It's not like nobody cares.
People love
People
doing
care.
that for everything.
I just don't.
I remember. So okay,
There's a cornflake that looks like Santa Claus.
You explained this, right? The Cheeto that's Charizard that we
Yeah.
got there? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I just want to make sure because
I
I
gave the
instantly
context.
got mad about it.
No, I gave the context. Oh, and look, so in the glass encasement that it's in, because of course it is,
Yeah.
it has a fake Pokemon card under it that says Cheetozard.
Yeah.
That is funny.
So it's a Cheeto a flaming hot Cheeto that looks like Charizard. And
Yeah.
It's framed and it's sold multiple times. It initially sold on eBay for $500. This most recent time it sold for $90,000.
Yeah, it went from...
Who is buying a Cheeto for that much money?
Rich people.
Yeah, rich. That's some rich people shit.
Flume? Is that a company?
Maybe.
I don't know what it is. I
don't know. I'm confused.
It's something along those lines. It's some startup company that happened within the last few years. I don't even know what the hell it is. But I saw some kind of article literally before we got online that like the owner talked about the fact that he sold the company for multiple millions of dollars and put out a statement to the press that now I have all this money and I have no reason to live. I don't know what I'm doing anymore or what to do with this money. That is the kind of money of people that buy this. No, it's definitely not. It's like 2 O's, something like that.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't know who this guy is. Australian model?
It's an artist.
Musician. And DJ.
Well, hey, just shout out to him, I guess.
Huh. I don't know.
That might be it. Yeah, that might be it.
Technology company, maybe?
Yeah, that might be it. The breathalyzer for your smartphone. I don't know. I didn't look into it. I just looked at the guy's statement, and I'm like, that is the kind of money you'd have to buy this Charizard card. When Logan Paul bought the fucking Charizard, it was a Charizard or was it a Pikachu?
I think it was Charizard.
I thought it was a Charizard. But like the first edition pressed Charizard that was graded, right? It's the most expensive Pokemon card ever.
Right.
When he bought that, I understand it. Like, it's still stupid, don't get me wrong. But I understand the mindset of, I am an influencer who is in the public eye all the time, and I'm going to do this crazy, wild, expensive thing because it's just going to end up benefiting me more in the end, and I'm going to show it off. I get that. Random guy dropping $90,000 on Cheeto Charizard just so we talk about it?
That's a very valid
point. You got here, buddy. You're on the Rebel Radio Show. You made it.
Congratulations, buddy. You made it.
Well, this is like the 7th owner of it.
Yeah, it keeps going, and it keeps gaining value.
As it gets older.
Money is fake.
Yeah.
More expensive.
It's earning interest as each sale. That is pretty...
You've been investing recently? Oh, yeah. You should see this Cheeto I picked up on eBay.
No, but that is a really good point. And I guess that goes back to, if you're someone famous, it's like, okay, I bought this for, clout purposes, essentially, to show this off. And it's interesting to hear, like, oh, this famous piece of memorabilia was owned by someone else who's famous, and now it's in the hands of, or now it's up for auction. Like, that is kind of an interesting
famous
thing.
people buying other famous people's cars.
Right. Yeah. That's kind of an interesting thing to hear about. And it's like, okay, that's cool, whatever. But, yeah, if you're just a normal rich person, you have to be exuberantly rich. You have to have fuck you levels of money to be able to buy this and feel okay about it.
Yeah.
Because you're not just collecting.
And it's a Cheeto.
Right, you're not just collecting Cheetos.
And it's not
You
like...
don't know that.
it's
Maybe
not-
this guy has a huge Cheeto collection. This is the piece
Maybe.
he was
Well,
missing.
Because there
I
are...
had all 160 other
Yeah.
Pokemon, 161 other Pokemon.
Yeah.
There is a whole
50?
different like level.
150?
of-
Maybe. I don't remember.
151.
There's
Yeah.
a whole different level of Cheetos too. Like people go out and look for Cheetos that are shaped a certain way, and they will sell them online.
That's so
I
crazy
just-
to me.
I can rationalize the person who sells it. It's stupid, and they know it's stupid. But I can rationalize
There's a
going,
market for it.
someone's going to buy this.
Yeah,
This is
someone-
great. This looks
some-
like the Virgin Mary.
Right.
Which is another Cheeto that sold like
Right.
relatively recently, by the way.
Well, I feel like I've seen like barbecue potato chips and
There's the
this
chip
thing.
that has the cross in the middle of it.
Right,
There's
like,
the
that's
toast with Jesus on it was a big one when we were growing up.
Yeah, you always hear about shit like
Yeah.
that, and it's just like, who really cares? Who really cares that
It's
much?
perishable.
Right.
It's all like especially the toast one. That one, like as a kid,
Right.
I remember everyone was making fun of that. Like there's a Patty or a Sunny episode about it
Mhm.
where there's a water stain in the bar that looks like the Virgin Mary, and they're making fun of the toast thing.
Yeah,
like-
right. It's one of those things where they're making fun of why do people care about
Yeah.
this? Like
There's
it's-
literally a whole list of them for sale.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
there's a Fozzie Bear and Kermit one for $7,999. Yes.
that's ridiculous.
There's a Dick for $420.69.
That's funny.
All of them look. Hang on, like half of the Cheetos you eat look like dicks.
Yeah.
This one's Tiger Woods.
At least mine.
You're eating those dick Cheetos.
I get specifically the puffy ones.
Yeah.
Homer
Yeah.
Simpson, Harambe.
It's dumb. It's dumb. It's such a dumb thing.
Right.
And again, I understand the selling aspect of it because you know people are dumb, and you know I can list this fucking cheat. It's like the
This one is L-shaped for $10,000.
It's making egg salad. Do you remember them making an egg salad sandwich?
No.
Someone put a Kickstarter that was like making an egg salad sandwich as a joke. Goal $500,
Yeah.
and the dude made thousands of dollars as
Hey.
a fucking meme.
Hey.
You know, it was like the I'm almost certain it was egg salad, right?
Mhm.
And then so many people copied it. So many people got on Kickstarter and was like, "I'm gonna make a peanut butter and jelly. Give me
Right.
$10,000."
Right.
But like some dude literally, as a joke, went, "I'm gonna make a sandwich. If you wanna, chip in, you don't get anything, but I'll eat the sandwich."
Sure.
Like,
It's a meme.
good
Not
meme.
expecting anything.
Good meme.
Right.
But now everybody else is going, "Oh, this is a thing we can make money from." That's what the Cheeto shit is.
Yes.
And it's fucking working is my issue.
I can understand. It sounds dumb and it sounds ridiculous in the world that we live in now, but I can understand 90,000 for a regular Charizard Pokemon card.
Sure.
But the Cheeto? Come on. The Cheeto's crazy.
Imagine being the Cheeto collector and having just like a
Right.
whole
That's a hell of
wall.
a title.
Do you just have different like potato chips and Cheetos and crackers that are shaped like famous cultural figures?
Listen, you go to someone's house and they want to show you something cool,
Yeah, yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
like sometimes it's not that cool, but you'll be like, "Oh yeah, no man, that's really dope. Yeah, cool.
Sweet,
That must
cool."
have been great." You can't even fake this. This dude, you go to your buddy's house and say, "Hey, check out what I got on eBay the other day," and he shows you this Cheeto that's Charizard. And you might have a little laugh, be like, "Oh, that's funny. You know how much was that? $20, $90,000, huh?"
I'd drop it.
Yeah. I'd
I'd
break
open it up and eat it.
Yeah, I'd break
I had ice for breakfast this morning, buddy.
I'm dying.
I had ice soup for dinner last night, and
I
you're
just-
spending $90,000 on Cheeto.
I don't understand. Like, imagine walking in. It's like the walking into somebody's house that has like a bunch of skulls on display.
Would you rather?
But imagine walking into somebody's house and their whole wall is just uniquely shaped Cheetos.
You know what? Equally as insane. Equally as
I
don't want to
feel-
talk to that person.
Yeah, honestly, it's the same level.
You just said something that sparked a thought in my brain, and this is
I'm gonna
different.
start buying Cheetos.
I need to buy Cheetos vigorously, bags by the millions. No, I drive by this house on my way home sometimes, and I always drive by really slow because
Do
sometimes
they have skulls or Cheetos?
they keep their window open to their like dining room,
Mhm.
and literally 3 walls of their dining. I might have mentioned this on the show before, but 3 walls of their dining room are all ceiling to floor Funko Pops.
Oh, no.
And so I drive by really slow. And, like, yeah, it doesn't look good. I'm not saying it looks good, but I drive by really slow to see what Funko, like,
Yeah.
Which ones they got?
which ones they got. And it's just such a mesmerizing, like, it's literally the middle, like, their dining room. They have a table and they have chairs.
Yeah.
And, like they have their window open so I can see. And yes, that's a weird thing to
Are
do.
they in the box?
Yeah, they're
They have
all
to be.
they're all in the box. Again, stacked floor to ceiling, 3 separate walls. Could be the other wall too, and I don't know because I can't see. But Funko Pops, all different kinds of Funko Pops, all different.
I had a therapist when I was in high school, and one of her entire walls was Funko Pops.
She needs a therapist.
That's such a crazy
And you know what?
Whatever.
People who hate capitalism love supporting capitalism.
Right.
216-859-8699. Let me know what Funko Pops you got. Shane.
Style.
Jules.
Style.
Wait,
Listeners.
I want to do it.
Yep.
Jules.
Shane.
Style.
Shane.
Style.
Jules.
Wait, you have to do me.
Shane.
Jules.
Listeners. SynergyMusicStudio.com can help you record, mix, or master, or produce your next single, album, or EP. They work with a local and independent artist for a whole variety of musical services, and they're very cost-effective as well. Support your local music scene and yourself with SynergyMusicStudio.com, even if you're not in the Chicago area. Also sponsored by GenericClothes.com, that tells the big brand clothing companies to suck it and have a laugh at their expense, with shirts that say things like shirt, sports team, political statement, and more. GenericClothes.com, because nobody cares about the details. Get to the point real quick before we jump into this next story, because we literally talked the whole break about the whole pop collection thing.
Yeah, okay. Just jumping back into that,
it's crazy.
To recap, for those who missed it last break, we talked about I've driven past a house that's on my way home that 3 separate walls in this person's dining room are filled floor to ceiling with Funko Pops. Different array of, and like, you know, some of the double special editions, some of the big ones, but all Funko Pops. And it's because there are so many different levels to like collecting. We've talked about different collecting and having collections, and that's cool. That's a very human trait.
You're allowed to like things.
Right. I think putting probably what would be over 200 Funko Pops on walls in a main room in your house,
it's too much.
Is a little bit like, it feels gross.
It does,
and that's an extreme way to put it, but it feels like,
no, it feels unclean.
Yeah, it's like like you have walls behind that. It gets probably really dusty. Like, do you take them all off and rearrange them? Are they taped up there? Like, are they going to fall at any minute?
So you recently moved into a new place.
Yes.
So you'll understand this. I would not set up my living room like I would my bedroom.
Yeah.
Because there's things that I enjoy that I'd put in my bedroom.
Right.
But aren't, like, if I have guests over, why would that, be suitable for a living room?
Right.
Right?
Right.
It's the same thing with this. We talked during the break, the best thing I can relate Funko Pops to specifically is like die-cast cars, like NASCAR 12-inch die-casts.
Or even like a Hot Wheels collection or something like that. People keep those in packages.
People have a lot
I
of
have
Hot
a
Wheels.
good amount of Amiibos.
But like, people will put a shelf in their basement for that stuff, or like build a wall of die casts in their basement or in the man cave or behind a bar or something like that.
Right.
Where it's like, this is specifically a place where I'm going to put my collection. It's out of the way. It's cool. I can show people if I want to, if they're interested in it.
Right.
It's not the focal point of your living room.
Yeah, and that's why,
because it makes the guest uncomfortable. If you're the person out there with walls of Funko Pops, let me just tell you, your guests are uncomfortable.
I said it's weird, and I've acknowledged that it's weird that I do it, but it's also super strange that, because that's the other thing. You have those 3 walls full of Funko Pops, and you leave your dining room window open.
True.
Expect people, and it's facing a road.
Yeah.
Expect people to drive by slowly and look at those
Sure.
Funko Pops. Like, that's a jarring sight to see.
Maybe that's what they want. Maybe it really is just they want to show off their collection.
Look at my sick ass Funko Pops.
Yeah, maybe they're really proud of it.
Look at my sick ass Funko Pops.
Look how many I have.
Which I think is the biggest issue. You shouldn't be that proud of it.
Right.
It's
like,
fine to have a collection. You don't need to show it off to people who don't care.
do you remember those documentaries of people that like
Hoarders?
They're basically hoarders, but they have their whole house is dedicated to like fucking Santa Claus or some shit.
Yeah, McFoley.
Yeah, like that type of shit, but Funko Pops.
Yeah.
I thought about this when we were coming back.
Mm-hmm.
That is our generation's decorative plate.
Oh, yeah, or like Beanie Babies.
People.
Oh, yeah.
Well, here's why I say decorative plate, because Beanie Babies I still think fit like the NASCAR diecast thing. Because like
right.
people would have maybe like a room they put them in, or a bin, or maybe like a small display.
Right.
But that wouldn't be walls in your living room. Decorative plates.
You put those things up.
People fucking loved putting those in every room of the house.
I see what you're saying.
Hangers, racks, mounts, stands.
I see what you're saying.
And nobody cared.
Right.
Ugly ass fucking plates with paintings on them that you don't use. Who cares?
I don't care that you went to Myrtle Beach and spent $12 on this plate at a gift shop.
Right.
Yeah.
That is the presidential plate collection. That is our generation's decorative plate.
Right.
If you are the person collecting Funko Pops and displaying them across their house, you're a decorative plate person.
I need a presidential Funko Pop collection.
They probably have stuff like that. I will say, caveat, I still know this guy, collects Funko Pops. I would assume still collects Funko Pops, and like has shown me his collection before.
Yeah.
And it's just something that he keeps in his room to himself.
Which is fine.
He has like a little stand on his wall
Sure.
that he puts some of his nicer ones, and like he has boxes for him, and so he keeps them all in boxes, and it's cool. But that's different, and like I can respect it because it's all, he really likes Marvel, so
Sure.
he has Marvel ones. It's one of those things where if you have that many Funko Pops, you have to have a lot of different special interests.
Yeah.
And that just seems like you're leading a messy life, like I
Or
don't
watching
know.
a bunch of different shows.
Yeah, you're watching 16 different shows. You're part of 16 different movie universes.
I think you're really falling for it at that point. It's
Right.
Like you're buying and you're drinking the Kool-Aid.
Right.
Like I like Breaking Bad. I've never.
I don't need a Walter White Funko
Yeah.
Pop.
Well, even if I had Funko Pops, even if I liked Funko Pops, right? If that was my thing,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, oh man, they came out with Breaking Bad Funko Pops. I need to have all of them. That needs to be. I have to have the whole series of Breaking Bad.
Right.
I love Star Wars is a big one. When I used to work at
Yeah.
GameStop, because they keep coming out with more stuff.
Right.
They keep coming out with more Funko Pops.
Right.
And there's variants and there's chase ones and there's
Yeah.
bobblehead. People would come in daily and look for specific Star Wars Funko Pops to complete
We
the
have
collection.
4.
Star Wars? Oh, we have
Yeah.
Christmas. Yeah, no, I bought the snowmen ones
Mhm.
and I use them as Christmas decorations.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
and they're good.
And they go in a
Christmas
box
decorations.
when
right.
they're done
Right.
because they're snowmen bobbleheads.
Yeah, and then I think that's the problem that I'm in. I've been gifted a couple Funko Pops,
Same.
and right now they're just like in boxes, and I have them. They're cool, but like, it's almost, do I do something with them? Should I do something with them?
I don't want to do something with them is the issue.
Right.
I don't know where to put this.
Right, and I think like the way that if I was to do something with them, I would take them out of their box and like make them a little display or something
Yeah.
like that. I don't know.
I have 6. I have 3 in boxes and 3 outside of boxes.
Mm-hmm.
I have Puffy Shirt Jerry. He's in a box. He's on display. And then I have sumo wrestlers
Well, hang
from
on.
The Office.
Clarify, because when you say on display,
He's on a shelf next to my TV.
not like in a living room.
Yeah. It's in my art studio.
Right.
And then I have the sumo wrestlers from The Office. I think I have Stanley and somebody else. And they're just on the top of my desk in a box.
I think when they're like spread, and when you only have a couple and they're spread out, and
Yeah, not a whole wall of looks
Right.
like you're in a GameStop looking to buy
Right.
them.
yeah, it's a very strange thing. Drive past it kind of frequently, and I've shown my
noticed-
wife.
A lot of thrift shops have like gotten rid of half of their stock and are just like putting Funko Pops.
Yeah,
in
because they
place
make
of
money
things.
off them.
I've been I follow like thrift store subreddits, and
Yeah.
I see a lot of posts recently within the last like couple of years, and just I have within the last couple of months as well. But they'll price shit up if they know that it's expensive.
Oh yeah,
If they know that they have like a Louis Vuitton bag or something like
Oh,
that,
yeah.
or a Louis Vuitton sweater or
Mhm.
Gucci, whatever, if they know that it is what it is, they'll mark it at 500, 600. I saw a Coogee sweater from like the 90s
Yeah.
that Biggie Smalls would
Yeah.
wear, that like printed
Mhm.
crazy looking sweater that he would wear at a thrift store, and it was like $600.
oh yeah.
Like, no, not paying that.
That's not a thrift store at that point.
Yeah, right. You're paying retail pricing.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
This is eBay. This is
Right.
IRL eBay at this point.
Right.
I'm not here to auction on these shirts.
Right.
I'm here to find cheap clothing.
Right.
There's one down the street. It's called like a discount outlet or something
Mhm.
like that. But it's the same concept of they definitely take things in. They definitely look at the retail on them and mark them as such. There was a Dale Earnhardt racing jacket in there, a
Mhm.
leather racing jacket.
Right.
I'm like, oh, that's really cool. I grabbed it because I'm like, oh, it's a thrift store, you know,
Right.
$25, $30, that'd
Yeah.
be great. $400 at a thrift store.
Ridiculous.
Kiss my ass.
Yeah, ridiculous.
Kiss my ass.
Yeah.
And
I-
Funko Pops are no different.
Yeah.
Seeing shit like that. Well, yeah. So recently, my wife and I have been going to the exchange more.
Yep.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so you see
Big Funko Pop.
all the
Wall to
and,
wall.
and it's just like a secondhand video game CD record
Do
store.
people not know what the exchange is?
Yeah,
I
people who
don't-
don't have it. People who
Yeah.
don't have stuff like
I
that.
didn't know about it until I met you.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
Oh.
just like a secondhand media store, I
It's
guess.
a,
you
it's
could
a
say.
buybacks.
Yeah, you can
Yeah.
buy like PlayStation 2s and CDs and records and memorabilia,
Toys, yeah.
toys. But they have walls and walls of Funko Pops, and you can see the prices on them, and it's very interesting to see the varying prices of like
$3 to like 35.
there's a sponge like my wife and I were looking at them, and there's like a $30 Spider-Man, and there's a $15 whatever from The Walking Dead, and then SpongeBob, OG SpongeBob, is like $400, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
Why?
Who's setting these?
Right. SpongeBob? Why are you $400? Yeah.
Imagine if it was a Cheeto.
Dude, be $1 million.
$90,000.
That's what I'm saying.
$90,000.
The exchange needs to get into the Cheeto market. That's
Yeah.
where they're missing all their money from. But I will say, there's one time. I know
Yeah.
we're going
No,
long.
I don't
There is
care.
one time where I am regretful I did not buy a pop.
Yeah.
I worked at GameStop, and they came out with the Eddie Guerrero Lowrider. So it was like a big set, and it had the
that's cool.
Lowrider with Eddie in it, and we sold them for like $30.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's actually pretty like cheap, and it's kind of like a neat one to have.
Right.
3 days later, sold out, started like selling online for $75 minimum. I'm like, fuck,
Yeah,
I should have
that
just
sucks.
grabbed one and sold it.
I always wonder that too, like walking into a Target or a Walmart or whatever, a GameStop, whatever.
I bought you a pop.
Yeah. Which one?
I was on your wedding registry.
Spider-Man.
You
Spider-Man.
bought me
8-bit.
that off
Yeah,
my...
you didn't know that?
No, I
It
didn't know
was
that you
8-bit
bought me that
Spider-Man, yeah.
specifically. That's so funny. Thank you. But like you look at the walls and you're like, I wonder if any of these are rare, or like if I was in the Funko Pop industry, would I know? Like, I should get this one.
Let's clarify that real quick. For 25 minutes, Shane's been ripping on Funko Pops and had one on his wedding registry.
Listen,
But that one was cool. It's different.
they
Like,
let you walk around with a scanner and just scan things.
Wait, what?
Yeah. For Target, they let you walk around with like a scanning gun and scan
You
things.
just wanted to do that.
And so, yeah, my fiance at the time, my wife now, gave me the scanning gun. So I was scanning shit, man.
I got Big Buck Hunter on mine.
I said, this shit looks cool as fuck.
Hoping someone shows out on Amazon and gets me the $400 arcade cabinet of
Hey,
Big
man.
Buck Hunter.
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Santa Claus is, he's
Just don't
busy
tell
right-
Recycle Claus.
Yeah, Recycle Claus is busy right now. He's
You got time to
recycling.
talk about the surgeon still?
yeah.
There's a fake surgeon, Dr. Wilson Muniz.
Do not call him a doctor.
Fake Dr. Wilson Muniz.
Mr. Fake Doctor.
Mr. Muniz, not doctor.
Fake Doctor Mr. Wilson Muniz was a surgeon in, I believe, Miami or Little Havana,
Yeah,
Florida.
by Miami.
And
He was a surgical assistant.
I don't know for how long specifically, but it seems like he was in
Few
the
years.
practice for, like over 5 years, had been doing surgeries, was just given a reward or something like that for doing a, what did you say? A surgery.
Cosmetic surgery?
Yeah, doing a cosmetic surgery.
She tried to contact him in December about her procedure after multiple failed attempts. She again made an hour-long drive to Miami to confront him. Upon confronting him, they began to explain her concerns about her results. So this is how they found out he was not a surgeon, right?
I think so.
She began to explain her concerns as her results, asked if someone else did the surgery, admitting performing the surgery.
Found out he was not licensed in this. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
So he was doing surgeries, cosmetic surgeries, it seems like, primarily. So like plastic surgery, essentially.
Right.
It seems like what he was mainly focused on. And there was a lady whose plastic surgery he botched and would not get back to her when she tried to call to, figure out what was going on or get some kind of fix for her face. She came down to the practice where they're like, hey, my surgery was fucked up. This guy did it. And then this guy admitted to doing the surgery. And they looked back into it, and he was not licensed to do cosmetic surgery because he's not a doctor.
It looks like it, even in his degree, section of his profile, he just left it empty. There was no information
Fucking
about his
awesome.
degree.
Fucking awesome.
For his website, it says the About Us section mentions that he, quote, began his career in medicine in 1999, but lists no information about a medical degree.
So he's not lying. He doesn't say that he has a degree. However, I think he's probably calling himself a doctor and
Yeah.
also performing surgeries. Which is a felony? It'd have to be, right?
Wait, hold on.
Malpractice?
Oh my god. He put his mom in a chokehold and used her as a shield against the police when they were trying to get him.
Yeah.
So he had a whole standoff.
Authorities said when they asked Muniz to step outside, he tried to close the door on them, leading the deputy to grab him. They said he, quote, proceeded to tense up and pull away. Then deputies, then he said he put his elderly mother in a chokehold and tried to use her as a shield. That's insane.
This guy really wanted to be a surgeon. At that point,
Why
just
not
go to
go
school?
to school? Yeah.
It's like the dudes that really want to be cops, and they'll like black out their SUVs and
Get
buy
like
the
a security vehicle.
they'll buy like the
Yeah.
orange and purple lights to put on it, and have like some kind of vague indication on the car that it's not a cop, but like
Come on,
it'll say
buddy.
enforcement patrol
Yeah.
or something like that.
Come on, buddy.
Yeah.
You're not a cop.
Buddy, just go to the academy at that
Yeah.
point. Just
You
do
can-
it.
You can go to the academy. It's fine.
Why pretend? Just go fucking study to be a surgeon. If you're actively practicing surgery, you have to have some experience, right?
25 years he's been practicing.
He's been transforming lives for 25 years.
He had 25 years to get a degree.
Do you
Why
think
not
he,
if it was working out for so long?
It's fair. That's fair.
You think he collected Funko Pops?
Absolutely.
This dude definitely collected Funko Pops
All the Scrubs characters.
in the room.
All
Grey's
the-
Anatomy
You go-
character.
Yeah,
go
all the
to-
Grey's Anatomy characters.
You go to get your plastic surgery, and it's just wall-to-wall Funko Pops, and you're like, this is kind of an unconventional doctor's
and it's
office.
all doctors and nurses.
He's like, this should be calming for you. I have all my Funko Pops on display.
These are my degree. This is where I learned medicine.
I'd show you my degree, but it's behind the Funko Pops, and I really don't want to move them.
You
I'm
like
sure
these
you're
Funko
admiring
Yeah,
them.
you love these Funko Pops, don't you?
It's like when you go to the dentist and they got the one light on the ceiling that's like painted like an aquarium or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Funko Pops up there. Ceiling racks of them.
I just
Yeah, clear drop ceiling with Funko Pops on the ceiling.
it hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah, so you can focus on them while you're under the knife.
Yeah, I think we're broken as a society. This whole Funko Pop thing.
That's what broke us.
Yeah.
Really. When you think about it, we didn't have all these problems before Funko Pops.
There's chase versions of Funko Pops now. What does that even mean?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
stationary. You can't chase after them.
I've never understood action figure collecting. Like, in general,
Getting a
it
rare
seems
one.
too much. It seems like too much.
They only print so many of this version, though.
Why do you need it? What are you going to do with it if it's just going to sit in a box?
Right.
Who are you showing it off to? No one has ever, unless you're talking to the one other guy within a 500-mile radius that does the same thing you do, nobody else is going to be impressed by that.
Right.
Like, your
Right.
buddy's not going to come over to go to the bar, and you're like, look at this new figure I got. He's not going to care. He's not
true.
going to care, man.
That's true.
And, like, I've bought action figures recently.
Sure.
Like, I have gone to the store and walked down the toy aisle and be like, damn, that dirty Dominic Mysterio action figure is kind of cool.
Right.
I'm going to buy it just for shits.
Right.
And then it goes on a shelf in the basement out of sight, and I don't think about it until someone randomly, like, bumps into the shelf and goes, I knocked this down.
Knocked over Dirty Dom.
Oh, well. Like, I'm not proud of it.
No, but it's fun. I think it's one of those things where,
You can buy a toy every so often.
yeah, like the
Absolutely.
like the Funko Pop thing. If you have a couple and, like, you know, some of them are out of the box, some of them are in the box, they're kind of scattered. It's not really, you know,
Yeah.
you don't collect them. You're not like a diehard.
It's not a display.
Right. That's fine. That's
Every
normal.
Funko Pop I have, oh no, I can't even say that I've bought a couple. I was going to say they've all been gifted to me.
Mine
but
have all been gifts.
I think mine have all
I think
been
mine
gifts too.
half and half.
I've given one away.
Oh,
A gift.
just giving a.
Well, someone got me
Yeah.
a Freddie Mercury Funko Pop, and, like, I don't even like Queen.
No, you got that in the White Elephant gift exchange.
No. I gave that in the White Elephant gift exchange. Yeah.
That's right.
Someone got me a Freddie Mercury Funko Pop. They're like, oh, I saw this, and I got. I'm like,
Yeah.
must have been a pop person. Had to have been, because who else, right?
Right.
Who goes, I thought of you. Someone who's never talked
the-
about or shown me Funko Pops. I thought of you.
Saw this Queen one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know.
So, like, I didn't want it. I don't even like Queen that much. So I'm like, I'll just give this away. I literally asked around. Nobody wanted this thing.
Maybe
I'm like,
this
I don't
Queen
blame you,
Funko
dude.
Pop. Yeah.
But
That's the thing. There's so
give it
many.
away.
There's so many niche pop characters too that it's like you could literally collect everybody.
Yeah.
You
And
could,
they do.
you could
You can
collect
make yourself.
right. You could collect every single person, including yourself.
Mhm.
Every character from every TV show, from every movie, from every
Wrestlers.
right.
There's all NBA players, like sports.
Every sports
Dude.
team, every
What do we got to do? What do we got to do to get Funko Pops of us?
Like
Just so we can get residuals by, like, the major collectors who have to have every pop.
official licensed.
Yeah.
We got to
Yeah.
do a lot.
Yeah, probably a lot.
I don't think so, man. Have you seen some of these pops?
I think.
I don't think so.
I don't think that it's impossible.
The 7-Eleven Slurpee has like 9 variants. I think we can get a
Yeah.
pop.
7-Eleven is all over the place. They have Crocs.
7-Eleven is the bomb.
I also think it's crazy that Crocs came out of nowhere.
They shouldn't have. Another thing, just as dumb as Funko Pops.
I love Crocs.
You guys seen Idiocracy?
Mm-hmm.
They all wear Crocs in that because it was cheap at the time, and then Crocs became popular.
Wish they wouldn't have.
Yeah.
Wish they wouldn't have. I'm tired of it. You know what? You need to pick a side. Crocodile or shoe? Which one are you?
I
Can't
can't
be
tell.
both. Cannot be both.
I'm confused.
You cannot be crocodile and a shoe. You have to pick one. You cannot collect all the pops just because I say so.
I'm on the side. I weigh on the side of it's okay to have a couple. It's okay to have a couple action figures. It's okay to have a couple Funko Pops.
Can't have a couple Crocs.
Yeah, okay to have a couple Crocs.
You need to understand.
There are people who collect Crocs.
Yeah,
Terrible.
there are walls of Crocs.
Awful. Wood bully. You need to understand. The more pops you have, and this goes with any collection, the more pops you have and the more you display them, the more you're opening up yourself to bullying. You're only blaming yourself at the end of this. If you have, like the house you pass, if you have wall to wall in your dining room full of Funko Pops, you have nobody to blame but yourself when someone makes you feel bad about it.
Right.
216-859-8699. This is the Rebel Radio Show. We're live every Monday right here at 5 p.m. on WSRR Radio, saving the underground music scene and making fun of Funko Pop collectors at the same time. For full show times, schedules, and more, WSRRradio.com, where you can also get shows like Shanae's Off Air. You get the.
I wanted to do a longer one that time, so.
You want to do it a little bit longer?
I think I just did.
Okay, I was giving you another option to add some time onto it, but
I appreciate it.
All right, yeah, no problem. We'll reconvene, all right? You get shows like The Pigeonhole. You can get Behind Enemy Lines. That's the Cleveland sports show from Pittsburgh that broadcasts at 10 a.m. all weekdays right here on WSRR Radio, part of the Morning Drive, along with the Indie Insight and the Grab Bag for your music variety. Also, 10 p.m., that's p.m., every weekday right here on WSRR Radio. You get True Vault Escapades. That's the Fallout-based radio drama from Preston Hardin, a 60s-style radio drama set in the Fallout universe that's fully voiced and acted, so make sure you check them out as well. And thank you to all of our awesome sponsors like Synergy Music Studio out of Chicago, GenericClothes.com, and Hellbender Vinyl out of Pittsburgh, PA. Again, one more time for showtime schedules and more, WSRRradio.com. That number is 216-859-8699 to text into all of our shows, and make sure you get with us on the Discord as well. Until next time, I've been Radio's Rebel DJ Style. To my right, Shani.
Bye, everyone.
On the board is Jules.
Adios.
Peace. Peace.